Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, today's video, I'm going to be going over each and every one of the new stunt races, okay? We're going to be talking about these. There's 8 new stunt tracks that we got in the game with today's Double Money Bonus Event week. And these are really fun. I like them a lot. So I'm going to go through each one of them just one lap, alright? Now the first one up is a motorcycle race. It's called a Tight Spot. It's a lot of fun. I recommend either the Body 801, the Hakachu, or the Shitaro for this bad boy, okay? Now listen, I want you guys to pay attention to my times in the bottom right corner. You'll see the world record time. You'll see my time, okay? I legitimately set a world record earlier today. I'll have the video up on that a little bit later on. It's really no big deal. It's probably already been broken. But, yeah, I'm challenging each and every one of you guys. I'm challenging each and every person out there that watches this video. I want you to pay attention to my times. I want you to attempt to beat my best times. All right, I'm not going to say I set world records on this because I'm just doing one lap, but I beat all of, or not all of them, but I beat some of the world record times in this video. All right, so I want you guys to set that as a goal and see if you can beat my times on these tracks, okay? Anyways, before we go any further, you guys know what to do, man. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn notifications, and if you enjoy this banger of a video, man, drop a like, okay? So going forward, though, this is a fun track. I do like it. It's set to motorcycles only, and it's well suited for that. I do think that motorcycles are a perfect fit for this track. A lot of fun with it. And, you know, like I said, I'm using the Shitaro. You don't I mean, the Shitaro is like, you know, a $2 million bike. You know, you could be just fine using the Body or the Hakachu drag. I think either one of those will be okay, too. The Shitaro is going to have the best overall handling, though. This thing is just, it's second to none with the handling. It's really good with that, and the braking is very good, too. Now, something that these stunt tracks implement is going to be those hairpin corners that you just saw right there. Our previous stunt tracks that we got, not many of those really had those hairpin corners and those turns, which I really do appreciate that. And on these tracks, a lot of them do. Alright, the next one up is Bridge Too Far. I like the Italy GTO on this one. However, you can use the Pariah. You can use the, what is it, the NSX, I believe, is one of the newer cars that came out. It's going to be competitive in the sports class as well. You know, either one of those three will be fine, but I just like overall the handling of the Italy with this bad boy. The Italy GTO definitely is going to be one that I would recommend for this track. Right off the start, I like it. I like the color scheme of it. It's just a smooth, fun. It's a fast track, yet it does have some surprises to it. It's got some challenges, which I really do enjoy. I like how they kind of they didn't lose the stunt DNA for these tracks, but they didn't go too crazy with the stunts on the. It's nothing outlandish or wild or whatever. So I do appreciate that. Be careful with that little jump right there. Those little ramps are not your friend, okay? And this is literally my second time on each one of these tracks. Earlier today, I held a live stream this morning, and I raced on all of them for the very first time. And we had a lot of fun with the crew and some randoms that showed up too. But this is just my second time, all right? And again, pay attention to the time in the bottom right corner. I want you guys to try and beat my times out there. And you better have proof, all right? You better take a screenshot and hit me up on Twitter and let me know that you guys that you beat my times. So don't just be saying that you beat my times. I need to see proof, okay? Let me know on Twitter, and I'll retweet it. I'll give you guys a little bit of love, give you some clout. And, yeah, I think it'd be a pretty fun little challenge if you guys can do that. You should, right? You should be able to easily destroy my times and set your own new world records. Okay? Now, don't forget, if you set a world record in GTA, you not only unlock an achievement and a challenge, you also unlock a tattoo as well in the game. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but that is something that you can do. It's an achievement that you can unlock, an award that you can obtain. So I think everyone should try and do that. Now, you can't wait too long because all the PC modders out there will be setting the world records at like 1 second. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I wish Rockstar would reset all the world records that are obviously modded, and let people have some fun and challenges and try and achieve those again. But wishful thinking, right? Anyways, as we continue on with this track, like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's a fast track. You don't have to do too much braking on this one. There's some little choke points here and there. Notice my time down low. Smoked the world record by 28 seconds. All right, 2:25:08's my time to beat. Let's see if you guys can do that. Next up, we have Canyon Fodder. Okay, this is an off-road track. Something I like about this track, they have the custom vehicles are restricted. That means that off-road vehicles are truly off-road. You can't use the motorcycles, which I think is a great... See, that's a quality of life addition that I'm talking about right there. You have an off-road race that you are forced to use actual off-road vehicles. Okay, so you can put custom vehicles that are restricted. It's an option to select in the menu when you're setting this race up, and that takes away the BF400, the Sand, all those motorcycles, and you literally have to use four-wheeled vehicles on this race. Now, the Vagrant is going to be, on paper, the better vehicle to use. It's a very difficult car to drive. I like the Camacho, to be honest. The Camacho is very fast, and it's a bigger vehicle, so it's going to be difficult for people to pass you. Now, that may mean you get into more wrecks, people trying to pass you, or you trying to pass them on this track. The Vagrant, if you can handle it, if you can drive with it, it's going to be overall the faster vehicle. But man, this guy, it's just, you have to be very, very easy with how you turn and get around the track with it, because the wheelbase is so short. And even though it's an off-road class vehicle, it doesn't have all-wheel drive, and it is, it's very easy to spin out and to lose traction with this vehicle. So I would recommend overall the Camacho, but if you have the skill level to use the vehicle, the Vagrant can be a very good vehicle to use as well. And this is a point-to-point race. It's not lapped, so it's start to finish. That's it, and it's a lot of fun. It's got great off-road sections, just like we see right here. It is definitely one of the better off-road tracks that we have in the game, and it still adds that stunt element to it as well, with some of the tubes that we have right there and some of the jumps that you'll see a little bit later on as well. Another thing that you have to be careful with using the Vagrant is that this sucker, it's so fast. When you come out of some of these straights and you're hitting these dirt sections, you could easily just throw yourself right off the track. So pay attention to that as well. It's got some good boost points on this track. Got some good jumps with it. It's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to enjoy. I'd probably say of the 8, this is going to be up in the probably top 4 for me. I do like this track. As you see right there, I was just going so fast I couldn't slow down quick enough, and I slammed to the wall right there. But when you have 16 people on this track, you got big old off-road trucks. It's going to be chaos. It really is. It's going to be. You'll wish that you had it on non-contact so you could just go straight through people. Right here we have those little hairpin corners, those little turns. Saw right there how easy it was for me to spin out if you just don't handle the braking and the turning, the cornering correctly. And we go back onto the off-road dirt section. Really cool, really fun. Seriously, this is a great track. Definitely enjoy it. It actually, even though the vehicles we have that restricted option, this would be a great off-road vehicle for dirt bikes. I wish that we had an option to make it to where you could only use dirt bikes, right? The BF400, the Sanchez, the Manchez, stuff like that. Let's be fair though, the BF400 will be the top one to use, but this would be a great off-road, dirt bike racetrack. It really would. I like the feature that we have to restrict it to just four-wheel off-road vehicles, but I would like an option to have just dirt bikes, like an actual dirt bike track. I would like that dirt bike course, right, to get completed out there up in up in Blaine County, right, up in the desert, in the Sandy Shores area, excuse me. All right, coming across here. Still got plenty of track left. A lot of track. These point-to-point races are deceptive. They go pretty. They definitely have some distance to them. That's a little choke point right there. You can easily get caught up in. You gotta be careful with these jumps too on these with these off-road vehicles. You start, kind of shifting your weight up in the air and stuff like that, and you can easily lose a lot of stability. So I guess you could say. Coming across here. Oh, see, it's just so easy to lose control with this Vagrant. It's not an easy vehicle to drive. Coming back down, we're pretty much on the back end. Got a little choke point right here going through the tunnel. Good luck passing a vehicle inside here, man. Easily mess up your race right there. Absolutely got to slow down right here. You'll eat that turnip. We're right here on the old school pack standard area. Similar trails, not the exact trail, but similar, in the same area. Coming across on this side right here. This is a really good route they took. And I love how, as we're ending the race, we're coming up on the end of the race, we have to go through the Altruist. Now, the characters are not there, thank God, because I couldn't show that on the video. But right here at the end of the race, you pretty much just like throw your vehicle off the ramp. And there you go. Notice the time down below. Got a good little time there. 5 minutes, .867. That's the time to beat, if you can. And listen, because it's triple money, if you want to learn these races, you're going to make some decent money and RP. You really will. I mean, it's not bad at all. All right, next track up. We got City Limits. Now, anytime there's a superclass race, the Krieger or the Emrys will be viable vehicles to use. On this particular track, I like the Krieger because it's a little bit more. You got some handling, you know what I mean. There's some good turns you can really go fast with. But honestly, be careful right there. You don't want to lean back too far to land on your rear tires and get caught up. Honestly, though, the Emrys will be just fine on this track. It's a fast track. I think the Emrys would be fine. I just use the Krieger. I mean, the Krieger and the Emrys are so. Performance-wise, they're practically identical, so I mean either one will be good to go. The Krieger is an all-wheel drive vehicle. The Emrys is a rear-wheel drive vehicle, so there's a little bit difference in handling, right? The Krieger is a little bit more forgiving, but less aggressive with the handling. All right, where the Emrys is much more aggressive with the handling, but you know also less forgiving. So keep that in mind. Krieger is more forgiving. Emrys is less forgiving. Smooth track though. The people that we were, one of the guys that we were racing with was commenting that it reminds him of a Hot Wheels track, and many of the tracks remind me of Hot Wheels tracks with the stunt races. But yeah, the coloring with this, the orange, you know, the jumps that we got, it absolutely does remind me of a Hot Wheel type kind of track that you would build, you know, in your room when you're a young tyke, right? When you were a little tot. Most of you don't even remember or know what Hot Wheels are, so it's all good. Anyways, the fast track though really is. I mean, I didn't really have to brake that much at all. Good track, a lot of fun. Notice the time down below. 1:37 is what you got to beat. See if you can do it. Next up is Cluster Struck. This is a muscle class race, and oh my God, is Rockstar trying to troll us or what? This track is crazy. Okay, and I'm not talking about like crazy jumps or anything like that, but there's so many turns, hairpin corners. I mean, it's ridiculous. And knowing that they set it to a muscle class, I mean, you're going to be all over the place. I mean, most of the vehicles, it's just like you're driving on ice cubes. I'm a big fan of the click for muscle class races. I don't even think this car should be in the muscle class. I think it should be sports classic. But they have it in the muscle class category, and I think it's the better one overall to use for this particular track because of the handling. I mean, there's so many hairpin corners, and the Click is able to manage those tight turns way better than like a Dominator or the Hellfire. Even though some of those cars are going to be faster in a straight line, this track is all about handling, and yeah, it's just the Click. I definitely would recommend using on this. I'm good using the Dominator as well, but you are going to absolutely slide out. The rear end is going to kick out on you. You have to be very, very careful with using those vehicles. The Yosemite, you know, on paper is the best one in the muscle class category. On this track, I think it'd be a challenge to use it. I mean, obviously, if you're comfortable with it, go for it. Same with the Pisswasser Dominator. That's always been one of my go-to vehicles for the muscle class. Great all-around car. But it is a challenge to handle that and to drive and race with it. So keep that in mind. I mean, just look at all these turns and these hairpin corners. Though it's really fun. It's a great challenge. When we were racing with a full lobby, I mean, it was just a night. It was a madhouse. It was. I mean, it was crazy. People are all over the place. You really have to drive for the other person. You know, pretty much like in real life, to be honest. Fun track though. Really, really good track. Very fun. I like it. It's, you know, again, it's a stunt track, but it's not crazy, right? It's not like, you know, and I like how they kind of blended that. They have, it's kind of, these are kind of like hybrids. You know, I like those a lot. It's just really fun. Notice the time down below, right? World record's at 2:30.71. I'm closing in at 2:07 right now. Get these last turns out of the way. Coming through. We're at 2:14, 2:15. Got this jump right here. Looks to be the last one. Go through a little bottleneck. Oh, coming up on the checkered finish line, and bam. There we go. Another world record bested, 223.911. That's the time to beat if you guys can do it. Next up, we've got Smoke Up Your Asphalt. I love the play on the names in here. Great races. Great names for them. Another motorcycle track. Again, bikes like the Body 801, the Hakachu, and the Shitaro. Those are going to be the three that I'd recommend. Again, the Shitaro is going to be the best on handling. And I think that it would be the better one overall just because of the handling that you need. There's not a lot of guardrails on this track, and you could easily fall off the side. But again, the Body is, I mean, probably the second or the third best in the handling. I think the Hakachu drag is a little bit better. I'm sorry, not the drag. I take the Hakachu. The Hakachu bike is going to be one of the better ones to use for handling. The drag, I wouldn't recommend using the Hakachu drag. It's fast in a straight line, but you need to have handling and cornering on this track right here, and that bike just doesn't really have it. So the Shitaro, the Hakachu, or the Body 801 with the three bikes. Pretty much the bikes I recommend for all the sport bike racing in this game. The Dinka Akuma is a good one too. Again, the handling isn't as good, but it'll be all right. But those will be the top three: the Body, the Shitaro, and the Hakachu. In either order, they're all going to be good. But I do think that the Shitaro overall has superior handling. Well, I know that it does. With testing, it definitely does have the better handling overall. Coming through, and as you see, man, all these turns we got right here, and you start picking up a lot of speed, and if you're with, you know, a bunch of other people on the racetrack, very easy to get knocked off of the track, people crashing into each other. So you need to have a bike that is extremely agile coming through the corners. Look at that, nice, very, very clean right there. You have to, you know, hey, rely on your brakes, man. You got to use your brakes, you really do. Coming through this backside right here. Notice the time in the bottom right corner. Coming up to a little choke point right here. Little bottleneck. The motorcycles, though, it's not that bad. You know, still navigate and pass. Ooh, get a little close to the edge there. Watch out now. Watch out. Ooh, that was a close one. That was a close one. Notice the time, bottom right corner. Cut up on the end of the track right here. Uh-oh, can we do it? Looks like we got it. 2 minutes, 15 seconds, .769. That's the time to beat. All right. Next up, we got Sun, Sea, and Chicanes. Now, this is a sports classic race, and I like that. There's not a lot of love for the sports classic categories in this game. There's a lot of classes that don't get a lot of love, right? The sports classic class, though, is one of them. And there's some good cars in there. However, if you don't have a Turismo Classic, you're going to be outgunned. This is the car you need to have for racing on this track. This is probably my second favorite track in the game. I love this one. You guys know, if you've watched me throughout the years, you know, my live streams, I'm a sucker for a good sunset. And this track, I mean, I love the coloration of it, the purple, the sunset, right? It's a beautiful track. It's a great track to drive on, too. It really is. It's fast. It's got some good corners on it. I think it's... Notice the shark card advertisements right there. That's pretty funny. But definitely one of my favorite tracks. Probably my second favorite one of the game, just because of the scenery, the coloration of the track. It's just a really nice track to race on. Got a good little hairpin. Did not manage that quite well at all right there. Kind of got away from me. It's okay, though. No big deal. No big deal. No, it's a beautiful. Have a little blimp in the background right there. Really nice. Definitely appreciate that. It's a fun track. Coming through right here. Notice the time in the bottom right corner. I love how they have all the advertisements set up too. Whoever builds these tracks for Rockstar, man, good job. All the stunt tracks have been, you know, there's really not too many. There's some stunt races that are not as good as others, but I think all of them overall are very well done, well put together. Very enjoyable. Notice the time in the bottom right corner, 133. Smoked the world record, right? 133.727. That's the time if you can beat it. Maybe, maybe not. And last but not least is the Vicious Spiral. This, by far, is my favorite track in the game. or with the new stunt races anyways. Probably top 3 overall, maybe my favorite overall. This is definitely going to be one of them. It's up there. Really cool. This is a sensory overload. I mean, it's amazing. I love the visuals on this. It's captivating. I feel like a moth getting attracted to a freaking light bulb, right? About to get zapped. Very, very good with the design on this track. Very fun. It's definitely a true stunt track, right? And again, it's sensory overload. You know, it's dusk. You know, it's starting to get dark. You still got the coloration of the sky in the background. You got the night lights and the city lights. It's just beautiful, man. It's a really, really well put together track. I love the coloration, the blending of it. It's just beautiful, man. Really, really good job with this. I feel like I'm looking at like a beautiful rainbow or something, right? I like the Emirates for this track. It's just, yeah, well put together. I mean, you can watch my live stream. We were all like, oh, yeah. It was really nice. Do a full vertical loop right here. And then you end up going directly straight down into another spiral format. Look at that. It's just, oh, man. Your camera kind of spirals, you know, for you. It's beautiful. Well done. Well done. Hit the boost right there. Just a very good job. I love the city lights that you can see and the ambiance of it and the surroundings of the background. Just very, very good put together. You can still see the stars in the sky, right? The sun just set. Just beautiful. Really nice. Coming through some great graphics right here. The spiral coloration. The tube. Very good. Coming through. We dip down, then we hit a nasty jump right here, right over top of Maze Bank. Fireworks go off. Oh, come on, dude. Look at that. You got the city in the background. Very clean right there. Easy on how you land. Don't want to spin the vehicle out. Yeah, very good. Eating up those boosts right there. Going to a wall climb turn. Very nice. Come back down around. Nice little horseshoe turn right there. And there's areas on these tracks where you can collide, right, with the other players. Notice the time in the bottom right corner. Didn't quite get the world record on that one. Right. All good, though. 234.452 is the time to beat. And there you have it. That's all 8 of the new stunt tracks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, man. And again, just if you want to practice and learn, now's a great time to do it. You can make some decent money just racing by yourself. And see if you can't beat my times, man. See what you got, all right? Thank you all so much for coming out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the ills and reels content in the game. Smash that like button. We'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out. Yeah.